it's Julia, and today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag. Okay, so the end of the year has arrived. It is early to mid-November, and it is time for the end of the year book tag. If you haven't heard about this tag, I will be linking the original creator and the person that I saw the video from. I think I've done this book tag the last like 2 or 3 years, but I really love the mid-year freakout tag, and this one's not as good as that one, but I still really like it. So I haven't done a tag in a really long time, so I thought now would be the perfect time to go ahead and do that. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year and want to finish before the end of the year? My answer for this is not really. I think the only book that I started this year that I want to finish is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, but I don't want to finish it before the end of the year. I'm just not in that mood for that kind of book, that real high fantasy book. And so I'm gonna put that aside for now, or I did already put it aside, and I'm not gonna pick it up until after next year probably. And I'll probably just start it over again and read it again. I've read a lot of books this year that I've started and didn't finish, but I have no intent of finishing them. I put them down in the intent of DNFing them and not finishing them ever. Ever! They're just gonna go into the black abyss of my bookshelves and never come out again. They're just gonna stay there, and they're gonna be good books and not bother me for the rest of my life, if you catch my drift. Okay, next question. Do you have an autumn themed book to transition into the end of the year? Yes, I do, and that is The Wood. The Wood, which I will be reading this month. It's on my TBR for this month, so I'm going to be reading it next. I'm currently reading The Gracier, which wasn't actually on my TBR, but I'm going to be reading The Wood next, which is very autumn themed. It takes place in like a forest, and that really just gives me kind of autumn vibes. It has creatures that come out of this forest, and this girl is trying to basically protect anybody from entering the forest where they will disappear into the oblivion of this wood. Yeah, that is my autumn themed book that I'm planning on reading, that's going to kind of transition me into next year. But I guess it's more like I'm reading it at the end of the year and not really transitioning into the next year with it. I'm just going to read it now, and that's pretty much the way it's going to be. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Yes, there is. Yes, there are 2, and that is The Queen of Nothing and Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. I'm so excited for these books. These are like my most anticipated books of this year, and I cannot wait to get my hands on them. I'm seriously dying. Queen of Nothing comes out in like a week, and I'm seriously just dying to get my hands on it. I said I'm gonna read The Wood next, but probably I'll be reading Queen of Nothing next, just depending on when I finish The Gracier, which actually I'm getting through it really fast. I started it yesterday, I'm already halfway through it. So I'll probably finish that today or tomorrow, and then in that case, I'll be reading The Wood, and then hopefully reading The Queen of Nothing next. I'm so excited for it. I'll probably read that really super fast because that series just freaking kills me. I love it so much. I love it so much. Okay, and then Starsight. Skyward was my favorite book of last year. It was freaking amazing. I loved every single second of it, and so I'm dying for the second book because the way that that book ended was so intense, and it's just, I know that it's gonna be an amazing transition into a second book. Cannot wait. So excited. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I've kind of already mentioned them, Queen of Nothing and Starsight, and then I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really have a book that another one that I really want to read. I was really anticipating The Gracier, and I'm reading it now, so that's kind of, I'll include that one in that one. But The Gracier is freaking incredible. If you haven't heard of this book yet, I cannot put it down. I seriously cannot put it down. I'm reading it every second I have a minute to read it, and it's amazing. It's so intriguing. It's so fast-paced. I highly recommend it. I haven't finished it yet, but I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I'm loving it. If you like that like dystopian kind of like female-empowered Hunger Games, Maze Runner kind of feel, then you will love this book. So pick it up. Pick it up, because I love it. I love it. For some reason, I think if I repeat the same phrase over and over again, it'll get pounded into your head and you will do what I say. Next is there a book you think you still, or could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I think that Starsight or Queen of Nothing are going to be my favorite books of this year. They are my predicted 5-star reads. They're books that I'm super excited for. So I don't really have a book that, I mean, The Grace Year is kind of shocking me a little bit. I knew I was going to enjoy it just by the description of it, but I didn't know that I was going to enjoy it this much. So I'm really excited for that. I don't really have a lot of plans for books that I'm going to read in the next month and a half. So I don't really have a book that I feel like is just going to like shock me and become my favorite book. You know, I guess that's the kind of the point though of being shocked, is that you don't expect it to be your favorite book and then it is. So I don't really know. We'll see. We'll just see. We'll get back to that one. Have you already started making plans for 2020? Reading plans for 2020? Not really. Actually, I have not. I don't really have a lot of anticipated reads for 2020. But I'm going to start making lists here soon because I want to have a lot of reading plans for next year. I really want to get more organized, and I want to start doing like annotations in my books and really paying attention to my reading as a whole, and looking more into the contents of what I'm reading instead of just basing my liking of a book based on how I feel while reading it, which is an important part. Like, I definitely want to continue to feel while I'm reading, but I also really want to dissect what I'm reading, if that makes sense. I want to, you know, I learned with Serpent and Dove that there were a lot of things that I missed while reading it. And at this point, I really, really want to start reading with my eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to know what I'm reading and make sure that what I'm reading is appropriate, and be more aware of what I'm reading and make sure that it's not hurtful to other people, if that makes sense. So I think that that is important as someone who is trying to write their own book, to really read books from a different perspective, and make sure that when I'm writing my own book that I'm paying attention to those things as well. And I think that starts with how I'm reading, and then I can apply that to my writing. Okay, so that is all the questions for the end of the year book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have done this tag, link it down below and I will go check out your tag, because I would love to hear your answers. If you've read any of these books that I've talked about, or are looking forward to any of these books that I talked about, I would also love to hear about that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!